hearing from a longtime South Georgia advocate for rural development and farmers, Sherly Sherrod. This comes after the U.S. Agriculture Secretary publicly credited her with removing the blinders from his eyes on the realities of discrimination that exists in agriculture.
Now, an Equity Commission subcommittee on agriculture is using a report with input from Sherrod to identify and address systematic racism in the department. WAOB News 10's Brittany Blake talked with Sherrod about her recommendations.
So it was a surprise that he would do it during the summit, during his speech. I think Vilsack has the right attitude for trying to make some of the changes. And I believe he will go forth. As he said when he spoke, I will be one of those individuals who will hold his feet to the fire to make sure that he'll do the best he can.
In 2010, Tom Vilsack, U.S. Agricultural Secretary, fired Sherly Sherrod as Georgia State Director of Rural Development for the USDA after Sherrod says a conservative blogger falsely suggested she discriminated against a white Southwest farmer and refused to help save his farm. Nearly 14 years later, at the USDA's Equity Commission ceremony in Washington, D.C., Vilsack thanked Sherrod for her input on their systemic racism report aimed at improving equity in the delivery of the department's programs and services.
If there has been any person in my life that has taken the blinders off my eyes, it's you, Sherly. And I'm forever grateful.
I made a commitment many years ago, and I've never stopped working. And, as you live and you grow, you see other things that can be done. And that's why when they mentioned this commission, well, as someone who had worked inside the agency as well as outside the agency, I felt it provided me with the perfect opportunity to bring my experience into that mix.
The commission will use the 90-page final report to help level the playing field of the USDA. Mrs. Sherrod said of her many accomplishments, she is most proud of the tools she gives farmers to advocate for themselves. And she looks forward to the next stop on the National Equity Summit in Albany on May 16th. Brittany Blake, WAOB, your hometown news source.